Let's talk mentors and role models. I always say if you don't choose your mentors and your role models, they will be chosen for you, and you might not like the path that they lead you down. It's so important that we find people that we can look up to, people that we can model, depending upon where we want to go and what we want to do. The beauty of building anything in today's age is that we have example after example. Somebody before you has figured it out, and you can get to where you want to go faster by just following what they're already doing. So go find somebody. And I usually say that there's 5 categories that we should find role models in. First is spiritual. In other words, how's somebody moving about their spiritual life? And I'm not talking about religion, by the way. I'm talking about spirituality. How do we connect with whatever it is that we believe in? Next is understanding our personal, right? How are they moving about their personal life in a way that I would want to model? How do they behave towards their friends, their family, their significant other, towards the people in the world that they meet? What does that look like? Next is business. If your goal is to build a business, if your goal is to work inside of a business, to be an entrepreneur, if it's to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is, somebody before you has excelled at exactly what it is that you want to do. So go find a mentor or a role model in that category. Next is your money or your wealth, right? Somebody before you has also built exactly what you want to build by way of growing their wealth and growing their money. So if it's whether you want to donate a certain amount or whether you want to get to a certain net worth or whatever that looks like, go find somebody who has done that before you and model what they're doing. Don't make it hard on yourself by pretending you have to figure it all out yourself. You don't. There's model after model after model. And the last is your physical. Find somebody who physically you can model. Maybe it's the way that they treat their body. Maybe it's the athlete that they are. Maybe it's how they eat or the vision of health. Whatever that looks like, go find someone that you can model in that category too. Because when we have someone that we can look up to, when we have a role model or a mentor that we can connect with, we can also follow their path forward. We can understand how they got to where they want to go. Therefore, we don't have to make up the path and pretend like we're the first person to do it. We get to where we want to go faster. And by the way, a lot of people get in their head about mentors and role models. Here's a couple of rules that I follow with them. Number one, you don't actually personally have to know them. So many of my role models that I look up to, I'll never get to meet. They're long gone. And I learn all about them in books. I read their stories, whether it's biographies, whether it's autobiographies, whether it's stories about their life, whatever it is, I follow their models by way of reading about them. The information is available to me. I don't actually have to know them. It doesn't have to be a relationship that's permanent or solidified. We don't have to shake hands and agree to be mentor and mentee. I can follow what they've done in their life in order to get to where I want to go faster and use their principles to bridge the gap between where I am and where I want to be. Second is, I always say we should put our mentors and our role models in buckets. And here's what I mean by that. Nobody is perfect. Nobody, not you and not them. So we can look at someone and say, well, I really appreciate how they behave in their personal life, but I don't necessarily want to model how they behave in their business. I can look at somebody and say, I really appreciate how they behave in their spiritual life, but I don't want to model how they behave in their wealth building journey. I can say, I love how this person builds their business or has built their business, and I want to follow those practical steps, but I don't necessarily like how they behave in their personal life. Maybe that's out of alignment with how I want to be in my personal life. It doesn't matter. We can put them in buckets and we can say we appreciate how this person lives in this space and we can admire how they live in this space without having to attach ourselves to being exactly like them in all of these categories. So put them in buckets and find someone who has been where you want to go or who has modeled something similar so that you can follow their actions, you can follow their habits, you can learn from their mistakes so you can get to where you want to go faster. That's the path, and that's the purpose of having role models and mentors. So if you don't have them in spiritual, in business, in physical, in money, and in personal, you're going to want to go find them. Make that a project of yours. Go and really identify where you want to go in each of those categories, and then go find role models and mentors that you can learn from, whether they're actual people that you know or books that you need to pick up or master classes that you need to take, whatever it is. Go find them in each of those categories so you can model someone who's already been where you want to go, and so that you can bridge that gap even faster and model their mistakes, model their good habits, model what they did well, stay away from what they didn't do well, so that you can bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be even faster. That's the purpose. Go find those people today. I'm Nikki Miller. You're watching Life on Purpose. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get regular updates on the videos that we send out. You can click the link below to get on our newsletter. We won't spam you. You can unsubscribe at any time, or follow us on Instagram at @TheNikkiMiller. And if you have questions or things that you want to hear about on this channel, leave us a comment below or answer our newsletter.